Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag may have marked the debut of the popular series on next-gen systems, but it wasn't a true step into the future. Ubisoft had to maintain a link with the PS3 and the Xbox 360, and as a result the PS4 and the Xbox One editions were merely slightly prettier versions of the same title. However, Assassin's Creed Unity is undeniably next generation. There are no last-gen versions to be seen here.
It's still the same existing IP, so we haven't changed everything, but we think we've changed enough to make it feel fresh all over again. We've spent a lot of time and energy working on online tech to deliver on the promise of co-op. People have been asking for a very long time. And actually the name Unity stands from unifying the multiplayer and single player experience into one. It's a very boring name. That's where it started from, and that's the one thing that where we really invested the most. It was just making sure that we could replicate everything that you can do in Assassin's Creed over the network to share that experience with friends. And then on top of that, well, we've improved the graphics. We've spent a lot of time and energy to replicating the beautiful city of Paris. And then once we had the basics, we started to work on the gameplay itself. So beyond co-op, beyond online and graphics, we wanted to making sure to refresh the gameplay pillars as well. The Desmond cycle was concluded with AC3, and then you have that, you can say it's a Kenway cycle. It's not necessarily the way we looked at it. For us, it was just okay, here's a mandate. Let's try to next-genize AC, let's try to add online. Let's work on the French Revolution as a cool new setting. And we'll start from there, and then this is organic, and that's the way it evolved for us. And we've decided to change the way we approach the present layer narrative, and try to look at it from a fresh new perspective, because this is the 7th game, and because we're saying it's next gen and a new experience, we also wanted to simplify the story a little bit. So new approach, new characters, all of that. Arnaud is it's a good mix, I should say, between Altair and Ezio. I would say that he's a hybrid child of these two. His personality is close to Ezio. His dedication to the core, to the brotherhood, is closer to Altair's. And voilà, he's a young French nobleman. He was born and raised in Versailles, and his story will be different from those other guys, for sure.
Sadly though, Assassin's Creed Unity won't be remembered as the game which delivered the true next-gen assassination experience. It will most likely become famous because of the bugs that have been publicised that have littered the game. Still, it's important to remember that even massive companies like Ubisoft are still finding their feet with the PS4 and Xbox One, and we may not see a true next-gen Assassin's Creed for a while yet. But in the meantime, Paris is a lovely city to get lost in, providing you don't look too closely. And here's hoping that the next Assassin's Creed will perfect all of the problems that we found in Unity.
And for the future, everything's not set in stone. As long as we don't, break it, we're free to make it evolve, and that's true for every team that works on AC.